My name is Manny Hall. I am a brand strategist with Manny Hall and Associates. I started the company back in 2017, really with the hope to help entrepreneurs scale their businesses without spending a whole lot of money.
That sounds great. Was there anything that triggered you to start doing that?
Yeah, for sure. So I started seeing like a lot of people just really struggling to grow businesses, to find help and assistance. And they were really just doing it all by themselves. So I said, hey, let me start a company that really has them in mind, is going to give them some proven growth strategies. That's not going to stress them out or have them exhausted. Like I'm not a believer, Kayla, in like that whole hustle mentality. I believe that there are seasons in our lives that we got to work hard, but it shouldn't be anything stressful. Like the minute we start feeling that stress, we need to back up. So back in that time, back in 2017, I was that exact same entrepreneur, but I knew that there had to be a way that I can grow without all the stress.
So are there any milestones that you have set for the company that you want to achieve in the near future?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So next year, we're hoping to uh, get a building where it's just going to be for entrepreneurs to come do podcasts, do some video work, receive some coaching and consulting, for them to network and get to know one another, and ultimately like to build collaborative partnerships with each other around the city of Cleveland. That we can really just dominate and do some really big things. And then from there, hope to have some other branches across other major cities. In addition to that, it's my goal to have 100 reviews with the Better Business Bureau. Right now, we're sitting at about 20. So we got about 80 more, Kayla, to get in 2022.
Notice too that you have a rather large Instagram following. How did that come about and how does that help your business?
I grew my following from like kind of being stressed out because I really wanted to build it. This was like back in, let's say 15 and 16 and 17. Like I was literally just like following a bunch of people, starting a bunch of relationships with people, and they were following back, and the number eventually got to 25,000. And then I started losing people, Kayla, because I started talking about business probably about 2017, 18. And when I was switching gears from talking about relationships, primarily about like, hey, don't date this guy, don't date this girl, like, let's work on your relationships. So when I switched gears from now talking about business, they're like, Manny, what the heck are you doing, bro? That's not what we came to your page for. Unfollow. But thankfully, a nice amount of people stayed. And then I started getting more individuals that wanted to hear me talk about business and branding and marketing.
How important do you think that keeping track of your goals and ideas are in today's ever-changing environment?
A lot of people, whether you're an entrepreneur or just starting, or maybe you're just somebody that's like, just love Instagram, you just want to grow a following from a personal standpoint, you have to keep in mind your goals ultimately, because once you lose focus on that, then you're like bouncing around to what's the next thing? What is somebody else doing that I like? And you get distracted very, very easily. So it's just like keeping those goals in mind. One of the things that I learned early on from some mentors that I read some books from is that writing your goals down almost every day, every week is as actually acts as a refresher for your brain to start moving towards it, and gives you more enthusiasm to actually accomplish it. But if you just write down these goals, let's say in January, and then you say, okay, well, hopefully I get to them, you're not going to remember because there's too many other great, cool, and exciting distractions, honestly. So if you really want to accomplish things, you have to have those goals written down. You got to be looking at them. Think and Grow Rich is a really great book by Napoleon Hill, and he talks about goals and having that definite purpose. So I would always suggest, when you're writing down these goals, these things that you really want to hope and pray to accomplish one day, have it somewhere that you can see every single day. If you're still a full-time worker, have it at your desk. If you're at home, making sure that you put it inside your bedroom, in the bathroom, somewhere that you're going to see it every day, acting as a reminder, because this is important to you, right? So you really want to be looking at that thing on a consistent basis.
So when we're looking at these goals that we're setting, are these short-term goals, long-term goals? How do we go about setting those, or what is the best way that you have found?
For me, it's always helped to have these big audacious goals, because it ends up shocking you when you start to accomplish them. Small goals are definitely fine, but I feel like if you look at it from like a big picture standpoint, like let's just say, hey, I want to get 15 clients by March of next year. Well, it's not real long. It's kind of short, but that's also an audacious goal to accomplish within that short time frame. So what I would really suggest is you look at it from this perspective, write it down, making sure that you're seeing it every day, but you're taking small action steps every single day to get yourself towards that. A lot of times this is going to be very simple with just reading. Reading is so fundamental to get you towards where you want to go, especially within your industry and niche that you're studying. But again, books like Think and Grow Rich, so learning about your subconscious mind and the way you think, learning how to sell, like How to Win, Friend, and Influence People. Really great book by Dale Carnegie. Looking at Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I would say incorporate reading, definitely going to be major. But then looking at it from a practical standpoint, what can I do each day that's going to get me closer towards this goal? Maybe that's reaching out to more people. One of my mentors always says, if you don't make offers, you don't get sales. So if you make a little bit of offers, you get a little bit of sales. But if you make a lot of offers, you get a whole lot of sales. So it's more so creating more relationships with the individuals that could potentially buy from you, but not stressing out about it. Incorporating meditation, Kayla, is going to be major too, as a point. So just like these things might not necessarily seem like all business related, but it's really going to be these pillars and foundational things that's going to get you where you need to be. Because if you have this focused mindset right in the morning, then it's a lot easier to go accomplish your goals because you're not as distracted. You're like, back up. Nope. I got to accomplish my goals.
Speaking about the pandemic, how did it push you in terms of changing any of your daily business routines or maybe any strategies that you had to come up with to overcome something that may have been caused from the pandemic?
Absolutely. So during the pandemic last year, I lost my job. So I was already doing my business like pretty much full time. And I was one of those entrepreneurs, honestly, Kayla, that was doing my business while everybody else was taking smoke breaks. They'll be chit chat with each other, like, let's be on my phone doing some business. And because it was me really working on my phone primarily for my business, they had no idea what I was doing. They might have just thought I was just texting someone. No, I was building my business. And I would really suggest to anybody out there, especially these individuals that's working full-time, part-time, trying to grow and sustain. You might be somebody that is a millennial, maybe early 20s. I don't even know what that next generation is under that, but like get it in, like go hard in the areas that you know that you have the energy for, but don't exhaust yourself. But I would really suggest using an exit strategy, figuring out what can I do to get up out of here. Maybe it's putting together 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So maybe you got to cut back on getting your hair done. Kayla, I see that you got your little cool colors happening on your hair. Like maybe being able to cut back on certain things, getting your nails done. Ladies, you know that y'all like to get your feet done, nails done, hair done, makeup, eyebrows, nose, lips, whatever else. Like making these small sacrifices now is something that I had to do. I have a large family. My wife and I got a blended family. We got 6 kids. So she was already working home, and thankfully my income at the job was enough to be able to sustain us. But as I started to walk away from that job, there was a little bit of panic that came, like, what the heck am I about to do now? But I had to take a step back and remember everything that I had already learned, to just stay calm in these type of situations, knowing that across the horizon, God got something really dope and special for me, but I just needed to sit back and allow his plan to develop and not me freaking out and becoming anxious, because that wasn't going to help. So I started to look at my business and how many clients I currently had up against how many we needed in order to sustain us on a monthly basis. And then so past that, I was just like, okay, well, now it's growth. So it got to the point, Kayla, that I was no longer doing the day-to-day management of the business and all the implementation. I started getting a team. So I had my assistants, and I hired graphic designers and content writers and operation manager to help me really manage the business. And, a lot of people aren't at that stage yet, but just keep in mind that that can happen for your life. That can happen for your business, but you got to start somewhere. Don't just sit back and just let time go by, because what's going to happen is going to be January, then it's going to be January again, it's going to be January again. Before you know it, it's 2025, and you're like, man, I said I was going to do something. You'll be one of those unfortunate souls that looking on TV, flipping through the channels, somebody comes up with a dope idea. I came up with that, I had that thing, they stole it from me. No, they did. They didn't steal it from me. Nobody knew anything about it because you weren't brave enough to put yourself out there.
And that brings me to, is there any advice that maybe you would give to people who are wanting to become entrepreneurs, something that stuck with you, maybe from one of your mentors or something that you live by?
Yeah, get that mind right first. Like I used to always hear these like gurus and people that made all this money of how Warren Buffett reads books every day. I'm like, why are you still reading books? That's stupid. Like you got $1 billion, bro. What are you doing? If I was starting for the first time, that's the road that I would travel. I would read a bunch of books, especially ones that are pertaining to my industry. I would really spend some time in meditation to get all the clutter out of all the bad relationships and rejection issues and abandonment issues, and you struggling with jealousy, and you having all these different fears, and you have this poverty mindset. I would deal with all of that stuff, because one thing that I noticed, when I didn't fix those things, Kayla, as I grew my business, they crept back up on me, because I would be on the phone with someone like, oh, they probably are not going to close. They probably don't like me. I probably wasn't good enough. And all these stupid thoughts. But if I would have fixed the majority of those things, it wouldn't have been such an issue in the beginning stages of my business. So, hey, y'all, if you ain't started yet, listen, please, please, please work on that mind first. And then you can attack your business. You can really do both simultaneously. But when you work on your mindset, let go of those fears and anxieties, you'll be able to show up on social media in a more authentic way, not caring about everybody's opinion, or not caring, well, I got to go buy the new red bottoms because that's what somebody else got. So that's the only way people are going to like me. No, if you show up as your genuine self, there is a whole bunch of cool weirdos out there just like you that would love to rock with you. We have a whole like personal branding platform that we help our clients with, and it's crazy dope. Like going into next year, we're about to start hiring actors to actually help our entrepreneurs with visualizing themselves as a person that they want to be. Because what we've seen is when you can act as if, it really helps your brand go to the next level. Like many times we're like, well, no, I'm just this scared person. So that's how you're showing up. Oh no, we need you to put your acting hat on today. Put your acting hat on, go out there and do this video, go out there and perform for the world. And so what we do is like, we help with brand strategy, helping them to develop a whole strategy for the brand that they literally stick with for the next 3 to 6 months. But it's also helping them to learn how to show up in an authentic way. Yes, to your point, Kayla, mindset is a huge part of this, because we suggest different books they should read. We show them different type of meditations, how to breathe properly, how to let go of that stress. Because when they show up for their brands, we want them showing up in an authentic way.
One last question too. What one feature interests you the most about ILN, being an entrepreneur?
I think ultimately just the care and concern to help others go to the next level. Like that's major for me. It just is, it's so many people that just want people's money, and we need money to take care of ourselves ultimately. But when you see an organization, group of people that really care about helping others go to the next level, the more we help others, the more we're going to succeed ultimately. So that's what I like. I would love for you to visit our website. You can find me on Instagram. I would love to build some relationships and cultivate relationships and see what we can do together in order for you and anybody else that's around you to go to the next level.